Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Granddaddy Goodness, with my co-hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Dr. Wolfenstein.
There, not Wolfenstein. Might make some people mad. I don't know. Oh yeah, and yeah, we're bringing back the sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Pepsi and Peeps Marshmallow Soda. Guaranteed to be the nastiest thing you drink in 2021. So,
Vomit in a can, yeah.
yes, that's exactly what it is. Now, here's the thing, Eli. Okay, so there's competition between this being the nastiest shit of 2021 and also mint chocolate chip ice cream being the nastiest shit of 2021. Now, we're not Joe Rogan in any stretch of the imagination. Nobody's going to get confused with Joe Rogan anytime soon. But we're going to play Fear Factor for a second. Between Pepsi Peeps Marshmallow Soda and mint chocolate chip, which one would you go with?
Well, being that I'm lactose intolerant and
no, that's a
ice
black
cream
folks thing. That's the shit
ice
we always
cream
say.
ice cream really fucks up my stomach.
Okay.
I'll go with Pepsi Peeps.
Like pick your poison.
Yeah.
Anybody jumping in, if you want to go put in the comments, which one would you go with? Pepsi Marshmallow Soda or mint chocolate chip?
And I hate marshmallows. I think marshmallows suck.
And funny enough, this would not be the last time we talk about mint chocolate chip in this episode. It will make a return. Hold on,
My baby mama loved mint chocolate chip fucking ice cream and shit. Actually, she liked just the mint. Like, she doesn't like the chocolate chips in it. She just like the mint chocolate.
Wait. I thought mint chocolate chip was like a new thing.
I don't know. She likes that. She likes like she loves the Shamrock shakes. Whenever the McDonald's would come out with that shit, I don't know.
I know that's your baby mama, but I would have broke up with her just over that alone.
Like I said, I can't do ice cream. Ice cream, yeah, doesn't agree with me.
Okay. I think I built up a tolerance to milk. That's why I can drink it. I didn't know that so many people were lactose intolerant until I was like 15 in high school and shit like that. Somebody just saw me just drinking milk. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, yeah, I drink milk, but
yeah, I can't do milk. I can't do ice cream. Yeah, even when I try to take those pills, that shit still don't work. I get it gives me
what kind of
wicked
pills? The gas station pills?
The what's it called, lactate or whatever? That shit is supposed to like stop it. It doesn't work. I just get I wish I would shit. I don't. It just sits in my gut like basically stabbing me from the inside. I feel like I'm going into labor or whatever. Like
and people thought they were going to hear some comic book shit listening to this podcast. No, we're talking about bowel movements. That's what we're talking about.
Health. This is our health segment. Yeah.
Right. Let's go to the callers. What we got here? Big Willie. Mitch. That's disgusting. Big Willie, come on, man. What else we got? Mint chocolate chip was weird. What about sherbet? I love sherbet. I love sherbet. I won't say I love it, but I can. If I had it in front of me, I'd eat it and have no problem with it whatsoever.
A push pop, those are classic.
It's old as okay boomers. Is it? Why is it a new thing for me? I never heard of it. I don't know. I'm not a big. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been. I've heard of it like more than 10 years ago.
They're making it a thing now, though. That's the thing.
Maybe it's because it's March. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, the Shamrock Shakes come out in March because of the Irish.
Oh yeah. Okay. Before we get to the nerd shit, I got something to say about that. Okay, because we just passed. Because last year we didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day at all. But normally when we go to St. Patrick's Day, there's all like this pub, down the street where I stay, and I'm like, okay, it's a pub. I go down there, get free beer and stuff like that. But it's that green beer, and the thing is, Eli, the day after St. Patrick's Day is really bad for me because it's just green. Never mind. Let's move on past that.
Green piss, green shit.
Right.
Green puke.
Right. Like I just smashed She-Hulk or some shit, but whatever like that. Irish. So, I'm not knocking the green beer. I'm just saying I have side effects the day after. I have it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because isn't Irish cream like minty flavored?
So I guess that's why they bring in the mint chocolate chip. But still, everything don't need. I don't know. Anyway, moving on past that. Eli, this is your segment now because I don't really know what to add on this one, to be honest with you. I'll let you go first. You start off with rest. Nope. Let's go here. Yeah. Nope. Let's go here. There we go. All right.
Oh, rest in peace, George Siegel. Yeah, I guess actor George Siegel died. He was on the Goldbergs most recently, but he was also in Look Who's Talking. That's about all I remember him from. But he was he was an actor. He just passed away. So rest in peace to him. He's been on the Goldbergs. I've been watching the Goldbergs. So
he wasn't like he was like the granddad on the Goldbergs. So
yeah.
So only thing I mean he's that guy that he always in stuff. The only thing I can like really remember that just jump out to me, he played Denzel's dad in a movie. Like one of Denzel Washington's like early like 80s, 70s, I can't remember what
the Different Strokes movie or something.
I don't know. No, like his biological father. That's the thing. Not like he adopted him. It's just like it was in the weird 80s when they didn't really understand like that type of shit. So Denzel just showed up at his doorstep. Hey, Dad. He's like, what the fuck? My mom. Remember back in 1954 when the black? Oh, Shirley. Yeah. And then the whole movie just about him, Denzel moving in with the crazy movie. I don't remember the name of it. Wiki it. You'll find it. Whatever it is. Okay, moving on past that. Eli, this is also on you. Because I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'll let you go with that.
Oh, Jessica Walter. Well, yeah. Rest in peace to her. I know her from Archer. She was the voice on Archer.
Okay.
Well, I guess she was the voice on the Mama Dinosaur. That's what I just found out on the Dinosaur.
What are you talking about on the Dinosaur show? Yeah, that's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I just found out it was on Disney Plus. Yeah.
I guess she was on the what's it called? I never watched that show, but the Philadelphia, what's it called? Something
Sunny in Philadelphia. Sunny in Philadelphia. She was on it? Okay.
Yeah. I never watched that, but I guess she was on that. But she's been around too, I guess. So
okay.
Rest in peace to her. Yeah, we're really not geeking out on this shit.
I mean, I'll be honest, until when you posted this, I mean, like, I know her face, but I've been like, I've never seen anything like Archer, never seen that. What was that show they were talking about? Arrested Development, never seen that.
Oh, so maybe that's like, what she was on. I think that's what she, not the Sunny show, but I think that's what she was on.
Oh,
see, I don't know shit. So
we're tanking this.
I don't know why this is my job. Why this is on me?
Because hell, you posted it. I was just like, okay, you talk about it.
I figured I figured you knew. So
no, not in my wheelhouse. I'm sorry. Let's go to the call.
So rest in peace to these fine actors. Yes.
Yeah. Always Sunny in
Philadelphia.
Was she in that, or were you just correcting us, or both? I don't
know. She in that? Was she on that show? I don't know.
I think you're just saying we were just fucking up the name. That's all. Okay. Oh, this is yours also.
oh, okay. Yes, I do know about this. So Tom Savini, special effects artist, makeup artist, who's done a ton of gore effects for Dawn of the Dead, Friday the 13th, basically 80s horror, gore, the gore effects in a lot of 80s horror movies. Tom Savini, he was hit by a car last week and was injured pretty bad. I mean, he fucked up his shoulder. His head cracked through the windshield. But he's okay. He's okay because he's a hard motherfucker, Vietnam vet. He's a Renaissance man. He can do he's like an acrobatic. He can do flips. He does a lot of his own stuff. He's been appearing in movies from Dusk Till Dawn and stuff like that. He was
Sex Machine.
He was Sex Machine. He was in Planet Terror, where he does his own stunts. So he's like a stunt man. Machetes in the Machete movies. So he can do acrobats. He can do a lot of shit. It's just he made his living as a makeup artist for working on a lot of horror movies, a lot of like George Romero zombie movies, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Creep Show, all that stuff. I'm a big fan. Let me pull this up. It's time for me to. Oh wait, I gotta share a screen. I'll share a screen.
Oh wait, look at us getting.
Yeah, getting all fancy and shit.
Yeah. We have upped our budget. That's that steamy money.
Yeah. Is it?
Are you doing that? Let's go to the callers. Archer sounds like it is on Adult Swim.
It's this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Big Willie. We're glad you corrected us because we fuck up sometimes. Damn it, I'm glad it's about 616 man. Hold up, I got you. Yeah, I'm so glad you posted this because I was gonna post this.
Okay.
Because I was gonna call you his stunt double.
That's what people say. They say we look like we're related. So this is me meeting Tom Savini at a horror con a few years ago. I got a picture signed. I got his Sex Machine picture signed. So I was really stoked to see him, and I was a big fan of him. I'm still a big fan, and I just wish him the best. You know, I hope he gets well, and he seems to be okay after getting hit by a car. So yeah.
Yeah, so yep. Hope we'll see him again. Hold on a second. Hey Google, shut up.
You actually got at that command?
It shut up. It shut the fuck up. We're keeping that. We're not taping over that. Oh, let's get to it. Like I said, the podcast. We're gonna like I said, this episode, like I said, last episode, I was tired of getting a chance to watch the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. This time I got a chance to check it out. I actually saw like the first episode like Wednesday. Yeah, because I watched like the Snyder cut like what 8 times or some shit since then. So I finally got caught up. Now I'm all caught up. I got a chance to watch this also. What do we got here? Let's see. He's the guy with the dick gun. Yeah, Sex Machine. Yeah, that was him.
Yep, Sex Machine.
Yeah, give me my stimmy. Exactly. So, like I said, we got a chance to check out Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We didn't get a chance to talk about the first episode. Even though you did, Eli, you got a chance to, say some stuff that was going on with it. And I was like, cool. It's not interesting. Saw the first episode. I was like, good, solid first episode. Because I know how these Marvel things go. Like the first episode out the gate, they're building this. Because like I said, it's a 6-episode thing. But the second episode, Eli, sold me on the show. I was sold in. Hey, Willie, we're keeping it. I'm so glad we don't have like voice command because you would actually turn it back on. So I'm trying to make sure I watch what I say around you know who. But anyway, yeah. But like I was saying, going back to what we were talking about, that I thought the second episode got me. Now the funny thing about it, like the second episode and the first episode, even though they got this great Marvel movie level action, it just blows your socks off. At the very beginning of it. Both episodes, Eli, actually the day-to-day real life stuff was more engaged, more interesting to me than the Marvel movie action shit. Like I thought that was more interesting. So, like I said, the first one when Sam was gonna get a loan, that's the thing that stood out to me. Other than the awesome action scene he had at the beginning, but that loan part stood out. I'm like, oh, that's the part that everybody stuck with me. Even this episode, honestly, everything after the action scene was interesting. It was like the action scene in this episode was the least interesting thing to me. So I was like, wow. Before I go deeper into it, what'd you think about it?
Oh yeah, I'm digging the show. I think the action scenes are cool. That's what's hooking me. I mean, that's what's getting me in there. That's what got me in the door. And the action scenes are cool. I mean, I wish I could see this in the theater.
I really want to. Me too.
Yeah, so I can get the full theme park experience. but no, I'm digging the show. And then it's actually, and I kind of knew that. I kind of figured that if they were gonna have like U.S. Agent, that they were gonna go tackle political and socio topics with this show. So I was sort of interested in seeing how they're, being that it's Disney and Marvel, and how far will they take it? Well, I think they're taking it pretty deep. They're tackling, certain issues of race and race relations, pretty deeply that I hadn't expected them to. They're going places.
They're going places with it. Hold on, let's see what we got here. Big Willie, what you got? It's funny seeing the old man from Up as U.S. Agent. Everybody keeps getting on U.S. Agent for a second. What? Before we spoiler alert. He's going to eventually go from Captain America to U.S. Agent because that's how he is in the comics. I think we do need to just mention him real quickly. For instance, like I said, this U.S. Agent, a lot of people say they don't like him. Even in this episode, they say they don't like him. Eli, here's the thing about it. The actual actor, I like. Because everybody say he looks like the guy from Up, stuff like that. Yeah, they made him look funny on purpose in the first episode. In the second episode, he looks like he's supposed to look. I mean, I didn't know that this was Kurt Russell's son until he like tilted his head. Like, shit. Yeah. I was like, you look at him, you can't. I mean, he can't deny him in a a Maury Povich test. Look at the way he tilted his head right there. He looks like Snake Plissken.
A blonde Snake Plissken. Yeah,
a blonde Snake Plissken. And it's Kurt Russell. You can't hate Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell, most likable person ever in the world, in Hollywood and stuff like that.
He's a national treasure.
He's a national treasure. It's Kurt Russell. I mean, what you expect? So you can't hate the guy. but it's almost like you want to hate the guy. And here's the thing, Eli, how much of it that we are projecting our hatred on him because Sam and Bucky don't like the guy?
Yeah. Well, also, U.S. agent, I don't think you're really supposed to like him. He's supposed to be a douchebag.
He's supposed to be a douchebag. And that's the thing, but honestly, I think this show isn't, or they haven't gone there to that level yet. He's not as much as a douchebag as he is in the comics. Because in the comics, he's just a flat out asshole. He's supposed to be unlikable. That's in the DNA of the character. He's supposed to be this right-wing conservative. In the last 4 years in the comics, he's been like MAGA Cap. That's basically what they've been calling him. So he's even worse in the comics. And honestly, they couldn't go that far how he's in the comics in this show because he would be so unlikable. I can honestly picture people just turning the show off. They're like, this is what I signed up for? Fuck this, you know. There's some no racist ass Captain America. I don't want to see this shit. But in this show, it's like you said, he got like a black wife on the show.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
He's got a black token black friend that he's got.
Now, I do want to talk about the token black friend. That is a thing. When John Walker first appeared in the comics, Battlestar was actually Bucky. He was playing the same guy, Lamar Hoskins thing. But here's the thing. Marvel didn't realize that Buck was a racial slur for black people, so that's why they changed it from Bucky to Black Battlestar. You know, rest in peace to Dwayne McDuffie, because he's the one that explained it to them. Like, maybe you shouldn't call this black man Bucky. You know, so that's why they changed it. That's why they call him the bullshit ass Battlestar. You know, so that's the thing about that one. But yeah, honestly, he's trying to be nice to them. He's trying to get them out of trouble. He got Bucky out of his therapy session, got him out of jail, stuff like that. They still treat him like shit. He gave him a ride. They still treat him like shit. You know, so at the end, people are like, oh, and then you're going to say, stay the hell out of my way. He gave them every chance. They pretty much said, fuck you every time he says something out of his mouth. So, of course, he's going to say, fuck you back. You can't, get mad at that. It is. Let's see. It's funny to know, man. Yes. This is, like I said, this is Wyatt Russell. That's the name. Kurt Russell's son. Goldie Hawn's son also. Kate Hudson's brother. All family related. Everybody's talented. Everybody acts stuff like that. So the point is but he does just enough to make you hate him. Because even though he's being nice, he says condescending shit. That's the thing about him, why you don't like him.
And he's still working for the government. He's still like he hacks into the bird.
Red Wing and
Red Wing. Yeah, he hacks into them. He's like, he's got basically using his authority, his government authority,
just throwing it around, right?
Yeah, so this is bringing up those issues of privacy and civil liberties and stuff like that, which is what Civil War was about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it all ties back in together. So that's the thing about it. So yeah, Bucky. Just the thing he said about kept calling him Bucky, even though Bucky don't like people calling him Bucky that he don't know. He already brought that up. Just the fact that he, threw it in Sam's face that, why don't you be my sidekick? And he was like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. Funniest thing when Bucky asks Battlestar, your name is Battlestar? Stop the car, get me the fuck out of here. I can't with these guys. So that's the thing that was also about it. What do we got here? 616 bad. Mega Cap is a nice human being, but very much. Yeah, that's the thing. So he's not like a outright asshole, but like, I don't know. Like that asshole that just like, what did he say?
He's like the boss in Office Space.
That
like,
guy, exactly. Yeah.
Could you just do that? Come in this weekend. That would be great. Thanks.
So that's the thing about it. But I like how they set him up. Like they don't want you to hate him, because the first thing they do is show him interviewing with Good Morning America. You see him getting himself psyched up in the locker room. He realize that he's trying to live up to Captain America. So you feel for him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I like that part of it. So he's a complicated layered character, not just a flat out asshole like he is in the comics. So I like how he did that.
And the fact that he's married to, I like, see, this is what I saw, that he has, he's married to a black woman, and being, that seems to be like the cluelessness of a lot of the ignorance of, certain race, when people say, oh, I'm not racist because I got a black friend, or I got I got black children or whatever.
I got a black sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a black sidekick and blah, 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 blah. I think they're tapping into that, that sort of ignorance. You know what I mean? Because that's the funniest fucking thing. I love it when a racist white woman says, I'm married to a black man, or I got black kids, blah 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 blah, without realizing that black men are like been sexually fetishized for centuries and shit.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, just because you suck black dick doesn't make you not racist.
So we're still learning stuff about John Walker. I will say this: I know he's going out of his way to say he's not a super soldier, he's not all this. I'm pretty sure he is a super soldier. I'm pretty sure he's got all the powers that Captain America had. He's just hiding it, because you can tell, like when they was fighting on that those trucks, he just jumped out of the helicopter, where his black sidekick rappelled down with the rope shit like that. He just jumped out of it. So I'm like, okay. Plus, when they start mentioning the power brokers, spoiler alert, the power brokers in the comics gave John Walker his super soldier serum. So since they mentioned them here and they're tied to the Flag Smashers, I feel like there's going to be, but we're not going to theorize. We learned this from WandaVision. What happens when we theorize? So
he got his powers from Mephisto.
Exactly. So Mephisto gave his powers.
He's Mephisto.
Right. Everybody's Mephisto. The black sidekick is Mephisto the whole time. So we're not going to go that right. And that's the thing I like about this show, is that we can just enjoy the show. We're not worrying about what the X-Men are going to show up and Magneto show up, stuff like that. We're just enjoying the show. I'm pretty sure it's going to have some big ramifications to the MCU down the road. But until we get there, let's just enjoy ourselves. There is one big ramification that happened so far, Eli, that I think we need to talk about. Hold up before we get there. I bet Super Soldier Junkie, once he loses the cap role. Oh, I don't know if they're going to go that route. Like he has to keep taking the Super Soldier serum. That would be interesting. But I don't know if Marvel's going to go that route. I mean, they've done some stuff we say they're not going to do. But I don't know. We'll see if they go that route. What else we got here? Snoop is going to Snoop. Yep. Quicksilver, Mephisto, Ralph Boner, the whole thing. Now, we do want to talk about, like I said, because the most interesting thing that everybody's talking about from this episode was when Sam and Bucky went to Isaiah Bradley's house. Now, there was that was
another, that was another. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, it was a very quick thing for casual Marvel fans. It probably just flew over their head. They probably didn't think anything about it, but he's actually like a big deal in the comics. That's the thing about it. And they briefly hinted his thing here because they said that he was a black super soldier back in the 50s, stuff like that. In the comics, he was also the first black Captain America. And the way they have it in the comics, now it's all a retcon stuff like that, but it's cool. They basically said that he got his super soldier serum before Cap. And it wasn't just him. Like I said, I actually went back after I did this. So yesterday, I spent my whole time reading the miniseries The Truth, Red, White, and Black. And it's basically telling the story about what happened. Came out in 2003. Basically, it was 300 black soldiers in World War II. That's how the story is framed. And they basically signed up for the army, didn't know they were getting experimented on by the super soldier serum. Because basically what they're saying is that they didn't want to just give Cap just the raw formula. They had to do some tweaks and stuff like that. Basically,
and a lot of them died. He was like the only, just a few of them survived it.
Yeah, it was like 6 of them survived. 5 of them died in war. He was the only one that survived and came out of it. Captain America was actually supposed to team, like Steve Rogers was actually supposed to team up with them, but something happened. He didn't go, but they left Captain America's suit there. So he stole the suit, went there, got kidnapped, tortured by Hitler, escaped.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because didn't like the Nazis, weren't they like trying to get the black soldiers to fight for them? Like, why are you fighting for America?
Yes, the whole thing, that's the thing I was talking about, 616 Man. The whole thing is an allegory to the Tuskegee experiment, to Henrietta Lacks, who had the cancer cells that they didn't tell. So basically all this illegal experimentation they were doing over decades with the CDC, they're doing the same thing with these black soldiers. Even the fact that he was a super soldier, but it was actually illegal for him to wear the Captain America outfit. When in the show, when he mentioned that he went to jail for 30 years, in the comics, he went to jail because since Captain America left his super soldier suit there, he took it and went to war with it because he was like, if Captain America is going to fight for the country looking like Captain America, so do I. It was legal. They threw him in jail for life. The only reason he got out because I think they threw a line in there like JFK got elected and let him, set him free or something like that. But that's what happened in comics.
Technicality, they let him out. Like he was like in solitary for like 10 years or some shit.
Right, solitary. Nobody could see him, stuff like that. basically in the TV show in the MCU, basically saying they was locked up because you got to remember around this time, Shield and Hydra, there was no difference. So basically, yeah, they had a black super soldier on this. If Shield was doing experiments on him, then so was Hydra doing experiments on him. Just kept him in the whole time, just doing stuff on him. One thing I do like about this though, Eli. Now the difference is that in the comics, when they show him in modern day time, he's basically brain dead. He's basically like a child. He's basically like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like effects from the serum, like it
from the serum. Not only that, but he was sterile also, which I'll get into that in a second. Also, they sterilized him. Now all his grandkids.
That's right, because wasn't there like a white supremacist that like a Nazi was working for Hydra or not Hydra for like the U.S. and that they were trying to like.
Well, here's the
trying
thing,
to like stop the population, the black population or whatever.
Yes. Now here's the thing: that stuff they did in the comics actually really happened. There's a lot of stuff in this comic that actually went to it because what they said in the comics, and this actually happened in real life also, is that after World War I, the Germans and the United States actually teamed up together for eugenics. Like the top eugenics scientists teamed up together. But they had different philosophies. The Germans wanted to make the Aryan master race to make themselves, better than everybody else, while the United States wanted to do the exact opposite and cripple the lower class, blacks, poor, whoever else they wanted to basically find a way to population control.
Yeah, there's a
So this was before like the Germans actually split apart with the Nazis, stuff like that. So going back to the comic side of it, when they did split to the Nazis, the Germans took the Nazi scientists, he made Red Skull, blah, blah, all that stuff like that. The United States, the other German scientists went to the United States, made Captain America, blah, blah, all the stuff like that. So that's where it varies, but at the same time, it's all rooted in reality. And this is all documented. You can just go on Google. It's not like some kind of rumor, conspiracy site. It's there. Right after the United States, because
and this is why a lot of people are afraid of the COVID vaccine because of that. And I'm just going to say, it's not chill out because rich white folks are taking the COVID vaccine before y'all. So don't be afraid.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Now, if they weren't taking it, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah. Because I see that shit. Oh, they're referring to Tuskegee. I ain't taking the COVID vaccine.
Right. You're watching the NBA. Yeah. You watching the NBA game and all of a sudden Calvin from McDonald's saying, hey, why don't you come take this CDC vaccine? Like, I'm not taking it.
I see like rednecks talking about the government, blah blah blah. First of all, that was the black folks. They did that to black folks, not y'all.
Right.
Second of all, like all the rich white folks, all the rich elites already took the vaccine already.
Right, so, like months ago. They gave it first.
Yeah, they took it first.
Soon as Tom Hanks got hit, let's get this vaccine going.
Yeah. But no, it is that comic is interesting as far as like bringing up, all that history and putting it into,
I mean, all they did was just swap out the super soldier serum with the Tuskegee experiment. That's all they did. It's pretty much the same thing, but it varies in certain parts. Hold on, let's go. What do we got here? 616. What you got? Marvel Comics, The World Outside Your Window. That's the thing. Like I said, they just changed one little bitty thing on it, and that was it. Another thing about it, how, like I said, Isaiah Bradley was a soldier in the war, but was not to wear the Captain America outfit. This is the same thing that happened to real black soldiers in World War II and the Korean War and all this war like that. When they got home, they weren't allowed to wear their army fatigues or uniforms in public, even though they just came from the war and saved everybody from Nazis. They couldn't go back to the home and wear it because they could fuck around and get lynched. They felt it was disrespectful to even wear that stuff. So, like I said, it's and
doesn't it refer to the Red Summer and how all the black veterans had to like stand up and fight for their neighborhoods and shit. And,
right.
Yeah.
Which was a real thing. Also, the Red Summer was also a real thing. Like they came in there, they tried to burn down the city, just like Redwood, just like Tulsa. But here, what was it, Maryland, when they said the Red Summer? I got to reread it again, but they basically said they stood up. They're like, you're not going to do us like you did them. And it was basically a war between them. Both sides got killed left and right. So I was like, whoa, that's a bit of black history I didn't know about. So I thought that was pretty cool. One thing I do like about it also, when, like I said, Isaiah Bradley's in comics, brain dead, didn't have all his functions. In the MCU, he's fully aware and swole as fuck. He like, look at
And
this
still
shit.
strong. Yeah, he's still
strong as hell. That's
yeah.
the shit that got me. You know what? I saw as soon as I saw that, the first thing I thought, that's that old man strength. You know, because the funny thing about it, you know, in the South, the funny thing about it, if you go to the South, all black granddads are built like this. All black granddads are strong as fuck. I guess the only job they had it back then in the 60s, stuff like that, was just lifting tree trunks. You know, that's why they look at us like a bunch of pussies. You know, you can't lift a fucking tree trunk. Get the fuck out of here. You know,
it's played. I don't know if you've seen Dr. Sleep.
Not yet.
He played Dick Halloran in Dr. Sleep.
Okay, hey, that's Carl Lumbly. Carl Lumbly. He's a very talented actor, been around a lot. He was actually the voice actor of Martian Manhunter on the Justice League cartoon.
Oh, really?
You know?
I did not know.
Yeah, so that was it. Plus some other stuff he was in also. But like I said, he also just that little bitty part he had in there stole the show, just a little part. So I thought that was awesome.
And I thought it was really it was so funny. Well, not funny, but interesting. Like right before Sam and Bucky go into his house, they meet the little black kids who are like, "Hey, you're Black Falcon," and you know,
right.
And Falcon said, "Why am I Black Falcon? Just because I'm black?" You know, so they right. have that little conversation, and then they go, "Oh, this is Isaiah Bradley." I'm like, "Hey, that's Black
Captain America." They like, oh yeah.
I was like, oh shit, you know, and I did it myself too, and I'm like, damn. I was like, see, they're going deep. Like, there's some clever like little quips like that, like making us think about like again the idea of tokenism and all that stuff, you know, and yeah, which I thought was pretty clever. You know, if that was done intentionally, damn, that's brilliant.
These writers are smart. Even the scene after that, like I said, when they got out, they was arguing. Sam is frustrated because there's a whole black Captain America he never knew about. If he knew about that, maybe he would have made a different decision about, you know, giving up the shield.
And I think, and this is like, I don't want to theorize because, you know, fuck the theories, but maybe that's why Cap gave him the shield. Because he saw, maybe he became aware. Because remember, Cap went back in time and lived his whole life and, you know, got married and all that shit. And then he found out about Isaiah and said, hey, Sam deserves this. And that's why he gave it to Sam.
That's
just a theory.
That's deep. I never thought about that.
Just a theory. I could be wrong and fuck all theories, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. And like I said, Bucky did keep it from Steve. Bucky kept it from Sam. You know, I guess he felt like it wasn't his secret to tell. You know, I didn't want to, because the dude just went through hell, like the last 50 years, whatever, like that. So I guess it was like, if he's gonna come out and do this, that's gonna be on him. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Basically, wasn't Bucky's choice to put him out there. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And even the scene after that, like I said, when the racial profiling scene with the cops.
Yeah, the cops.
And it was like right after that, and it was interesting how the cops came out, completely ignored Bucky, even though they were both arguing. And they just said, and they asked Bucky, is this guy bothering you? Like, how?
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing about it is that the most interesting thing was what Bucky said. Bucky told Sam, give him your license. Because I don't think, Bucky is an ally. Bucky, you know, is with Sam the whole way. But I don't think Bucky registered how serious that situation was. Because he just looked at it, he was just like, okay, just give me a license, move on. But at the same time, I don't think he realized that profiling was going on. Or if he did, he didn't catch it at the time what was going on. That's why he said, do you realize what he was to get him out of there? You know, so I thought that was a pretty interesting scene too. That's the thing about this show, is that the racism they're dealing with is systemic racism. You know, that's the type of racism they deal with, not the outright KKK, you know, I hate you because of this, that. It's that systemic racism that's built into the country that no matter what you do, you can't escape, and it's almost invisible. Like racial profiling, people associated with cops, but honestly, Eli, it happens so much, we're almost normalized to it, almost numb to it. Like you go into a store, stuff like that. You get followed around because it's afraid you're going to steal something. Or you get ignored because they don't think you have any money. You know, it can go both ways, you know.
And this is back to like, back to like the white ignorance that people, like, they don't understand, like the steps that we as people of color have to take. You know, when just in our everyday lives, like why I have a blue case on my phone instead of a black one because I don't want, cops thinking it's a gun. Why? Right. I'm super polite to people because look at me. I'm a scary looking guy. I know that. I'm super polite to people in public. Hi, how you doing? Thank you very much. To let them know that I'm not going to fucking murder you. Right. And just like, I'll leave my wallet out in the car, because I don't want to reach for it in my pocket when I get pulled over, and I get pulled over a lot, and so it's stuff like that.
Because you got to remember, because the profile, like, it depends on the car you're driving. Like, you're driving like a Dodge anything or a Chrysler or something like that, you're more likely to get pulled over, even though you're driving the speed limit, depending on the neighborhood you're driving in. Like, these things, like, honestly, like, black parents have to tell, like, people, color parents have to tell their kids this stuff.
Yeah. Back to my baby mom, she couldn't believe, like, all the shit that I did. Like, no, I leave the stuff that I prepare to do. Right. I got pulled over while delivering pizzas. Fucking cop asked me if I spoke English.
And it's a conversation you don't want to have with your kids, but you have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you scared. So Eli, you are. Yeah. I'm
trying to wear. Is it better if I smile?
Oh, now you're trying to code. You're not gonna switch to your white voice, are you? Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Yes.
Like you're going for a job interview.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's keep going. But let me go with that. Like I said, now another thing about the therapy scene. Now the way they sold it in the trailer is different than how it played out. Because the trailer made it seem like these dudes just hate each other. It's just this old buddy cop trope where they gotta, get together. But actually, they're friends the whole time. It's just that, Bucky is pissed at Sam for what he did, for giving up the shield. And you see it from Bucky's point of view because Steve trusted you. And you just threw it away like it was nothing. So if Steve is a badge of the character, what does that say about me? Because everybody on this planet thinks I'm a piece of shit because I done murdered all these people. I turned Tony Stark into an orphan. I'm taking, sons away from their fathers. So everybody thinks I'm a piece of shit and wants me to answer for my crimes. But Steve's the only person believing me. But if he's a badge of the character, then what does that say about him? And that line caught me. That line got me with that one. So,
yeah.
Like I said, it's everything they're just throwing in this show, man. Every scene, even the scene with the Flag Smashers got me. The stuff they were saying and why they doing what they doing. I'm like, wait. Yeah, I was like, wait, are they the good guys? What
no shit. Yeah. I mean, like in the comics, the Ultimatum or whatever they're called, they're just an anarchist group that just wants to overthrow the government,
Right.
But in this, they're like, during the blip, the world was fucked up and they had to fend for themselves. Now that everybody's back, they're just supposed to ignore all the shit they went through for the past 5 years and go back to normal after all the fucked up shit we've been through. Kind of like, sort of mirrors the pandemic right now. Like after all this shit's over, what does that look like? It's not, a lot of people have gone broke. They've lost their jobs, all this shit over this pandemic. And then afterwards everything's back to normal and all this shit is like, no,
right. It doesn't work that. Right.
Yeah. That was really cool. Like, they're just going to like take it back. All the shit, ignore us, ignore the have-nots. Again, a sense of classism, the class war again.
Yeah. Because I think they were saying stuff like if a guy, came back from the blip and he was like rich and wealthy and well-to-do, and if it was his house, the other people had to go because his name is still on the deed, stuff like that. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I don't know, man. Plus that the lead Flag Smash is kind of hot, so I might be rooting for them, man.
That's what's her face. Your girl
from Solo, yeah.
From Solo. Empress
she got that distinct face. Like when you see her, it's her.
Yeah.
So like, man, don't make me root for the bad guy, man. Come on, give me Zemo. I hate Zemo. So, the red hand on the mask made me think of the 5-finger death punch. Yeah, like I said, we was all thinking they were like some.
Are you talking about the band? Ugh.
The band.
No comment on the band.
Okay, I don't know what you guys talking about. Y'all can have the conversation.
And I just want to say, I'm gonna bring up, I know there's a controversy in native country over the hand. I'm not gonna touch that, but it did remind me of Echo. Now, Echo, Maya Lopez, she's an indigenous character. She's supposed to be popping up on the Hawkeye show. She's got a hand on her face.
She was popping up here.
No, I thought she was in the Hawkeye show.
I thought she was in this show. I thought she was in this show.
Well, either way, she's got a hand on her face too.
Okay.
I'm wondering if she is a flag smash or a part of the Flag Smashers. If they're gonna like make her a part of that, you know what I mean? Because that would be interesting, you know.
So we'll see. Like I said, Marvel has this thing figured out. Whatever they do,
again, it's a theory, and fuck all theories.
yeah, we're not doing that. You know, Echoes Mephisto and all that shit. We're not doing that. You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just pretty interesting. So yeah, like I said, the show got me. I'm just glad Zemo is coming back in the next episode. I'm scared for Bucky because he literally knows how to push Bucky's buttons. You know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Plus, he's the only human to beat the Avengers.
But I mean, is Bucky cool now?
Don't know. Is he?
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Is he cool now? She says he got his mind back. So
he got his mind back, but
yeah, maybe the trigger words don't work anymore. I don't know. Or maybe he knows maybe he knows a fail-safe words or something. Who knows? I don't know.
But the funny thing is, when you watch the after credit scenes, I mean, if you watch the credits roll, which I'm pretty sure everybody cut the show off with that, those trigger words were there in the credits.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, ooh, okay. They got to play a part in it some kind of way. Something happened. So anyway, I'm excited for the next episode, man. I'm actually excited. At first, I was like, yeah, I guess so. This is gonna be another buddy cop beat 'em up. Marvel just gonna smash stuff like that. But they actually go into deeper in the not only social issues but the psyche of the characters. You're starting to understand what type of character Sam is. You know what kind of character Bucky is. Before this, I never gave a shit about Falcon. But now I'm starting to understand him as a character. I mean, Mackie has a lot of him in it. Like I said, he's a wisecracking character. He thinks on his feet. He's very instinctual. I like how Bucky and him go back and forth with that. Like that shit's funny to me. Oh, you been in Wakanda, you acting like you're the White Panther now. You're like, no, I'm the White Wolf. The
White Wolf.
He was like, huh? What? He didn't get it, So like, I like Bucky can give as good as he take. Like he can verbal jab with Sam to shut him the fuck up also. So
see, I read The Hobbit when it first came out. The whole thing about wizards, aliens, or what do you call it? Was it wizards,
aliens, androids? Yeah,
androids. Yeah,
all that shit was funny. Let's go to the next one. What do we got here? I think this is on you. Oh, this is on me. Yeah.
No, you watch. I didn't watch it, so.
I guess it's.
But I read the comics, so I am aware of this.
Oh, my fault. You're an elitist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I read the comics.
It didn't follow issue, 240, where Invincible went to whatever planet his dad's from. I forget. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to spoil anything. Sorry. I don't know.
You just fucked this whole show up for me now. Now they explain this shit. They got that far now. So, like I said, I haven't read the comic, even though it's been on my list, one of my to-do list to do. I've seen plenty of people. Some people have said this is their favorite comic series. Period.
Yes, but the comic store that I used to go to.
Yeah.
The guy who ran it, he said that was his all-time favorite comic book.
Yeah, like I've heard this several times. Like, damn, like you. It's okay to say now. For people who don't know what this is, Invincible is a comic series made by Robert Kirkman. If you know who Robert Kirkman is, because Robert Kirkman is the same guy that made The Walking Dead. Believe it or not, The Walking Dead is a comic.
It is.
They turned it into a TV show, so it's the same guy, same mind, same all this stuff like that. Hold on, let's go to it. Let's see. Then I'll get into my thoughts of what I think about the comic. Yes. The show is gory as fuck. That's the thing about it. This show, I was like, whoa, they're going there. Okay.
It's superheroes, but more adult, oriented and
kind of like The Boys, but not like The Boys. Yeah. It kind of gave me, which The Boys is also on Amazon Prime also. Like I said, this is on Amazon Prime. It's an animated show, but like it's an R-rated animated show. They go there. It's just as gory as what I've read from the comics, or what I did looking through the comics. It pretty much follows the story. I won't say beat for beat, but it's close enough. Like if you know the comic storyline, you know where the TV show is going at. The animation is off. It looks like pretty much the same. It may or may not be the same guys that did Young Justice, like that. But I thought, the animation.
But it looks pretty close. It looks pretty close to the comic art from what I've seen of the cartoon.
It does. Like I said, when I seen the comic. And then look at this, I like it. Do look pretty good. The animation is awesome. Like just the stuff they're doing, like the fight stuff like that. I like I'm digging this show. Like I said, it's pretty much like a Peter Parker, Superboy type thing. Teenager gets superpowers, stuff like that. The funny thing is about like when you watch The Boys, you feel like the boys are like making fun of superheroes. This don't really feel like that. It felt like Kirkman was legit trying to make a superhero comic. Like there's a little, irony in it, but
yeah, I mean the comics do have a bit of satire. There is a little bit of poking fun at the superhero lore. The Guardians of the Earth or whatever they're called, and they're like an offshoot of the Justice League, and there is like sort of those little, parody sort of jabs that it takes, but it is still very dramatic. I don't know how far the show goes, or because the comic does get. I don't want to spoil anything because the comic does get pretty deep, and
yeah. I mean, I looked at last night. The comic lasts like 15 years.
Yeah,
like there's a long ass running comic. Yeah.
Yeah, it just ended like a few years ago. Like the last issue was like a big deal. Like the final Invincible issue came out just like 4 or 5 years ago. When was that? So yeah. And
there's supposed to be like images like this from Image Comics. It's supposed to be like the Image mascot at the time when they did. Cause like if you look at his costume, it's an eye, but not just like Invincible, like Image. They want him to be like their mascot, like Superman and shit like that. So
and then Image characters showed up, like Savage Dragon and Super Patriot. They're like Image characters showed up in the comic book.
Yeah, because they want to do like a little crossover type things like that. I doubt that would happen here. Just because like Savage Dragon is owned by another person. But still pretty cool. But you can tell just by the. Hold on, let me see. There's a lot of diversity in race wise main characters now have Invincible. I didn't know if that was a thing or not. Invincible is half Asian. His mom is Asian, so not really a big deal with me. Like I said, because I don't have any attachment to the comics, so and he looks the same, so I can't tell the difference.
It's been a while since I read it. I'm not sure, but I guess sure that works too.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's whatever, but it's cool. You can tell that even just by the little 3 episodes they had, there's a lot of lore in this show because you got characters popping up, all stuff like that. There's a lot of history between and stuff like that. So I'm just like, that's pretty interesting, pretty cool. So, like I said, I'm not over here, jerking this show off like, oh, it's the greatest 3 episodes I've ever seen in my life. Not saying it. I'm just saying, good show. Nah.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it last night, but I ended up watching that Bad Trip, which was hilarious, by the way.
Oh, the Eric Andre show?
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
I'll check it out. But yeah. Well, it's kind of like Jackass, where it's like real.
It's kind of like Jackass or Borat, where they do the hidden camera pranks and shit. But it's like a narrative. They're him and what's his name, Lil Raj or the TSA Rail guy from Get Out. The TSA
Lil Rail Howard,
Yeah, he's in it. Tiffany Haddish, holy shit. She had me laughing my ass off. Yeah, it's funny. Go check that out.
Okay, I'll check it out. That's Eli's recommendation. So I'll check it out. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's go, because you said you had some stuff to add on it. I got some stuff to add on this. But I'm gonna let you go first. But whatever you want to put on that.
Suicide Squad trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got much to add. I'm just saying I saw it and I thought it was funny. It looks good, and I was laughing, and I don't know.
Like it's James Gunn, so yeah.
James Gunn, yeah, it was funny. I mean, it looks legitimately good. Like King Shark, eating that guy and hand and all that shit.
Oh, and it's voiced by Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I heard his voice by Sylvester Stallone. It's funny because Warner Brothers wanted Suicide Squad to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, now they got the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy to make the movie. So
we'll see how it go, because they got the guy from Avengers to do Justice League, and we saw how that shit went. So
yeah, but he had to put a bunch of Band-Aids and shit. But this is all James Gunn, and it looks pretty much just like a Guardians of the Galaxy, only it's the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and plus it looks like it's a sequel also. Now the funny thing about it, people are confused by Idris Elba. Is he playing Will Smith's character? He's not, but he might as well be. Like I said, he is not playing Deadshot. He's playing Bloodsport. The difference is in the comics, Deadshot was a Batman villain. Bloodsport was a Superman villain. They both did the same shit. They shot guns and like that. So. Bloodsport, like you wondering how did Bloodsport, manage to do anything with Superman with guns? Obviously not much. That's why he's here in the Suicide Squad. Pretty sure Superman beat his ass and threw him in jail. So that's the thing with that one. Other stuff I did want to add in there real quick. Where's that thing I wanted to add? I don't think I have it. Oh well, I want to talk about Starro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Starro is a big thing going on right now. For those who don't know, because the actual villain of the show, the villain of the movie is Starro. Now, for those who don't know who Starro is actually the very first villain that the Justice League fought in Brave and the Bold 28. Now the thing is, Zack Snyder also said, I don't want no big ass starfish in my movie. My movie is gritty. My movie is grim. Nobody will believe that shit. This is the same bullshit he said for Watchmen. There was a big ass squid at the end of Watchmen.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah. Right. He said the shit's stupid.
No one's gonna want to see a big giant squid and shit. Yeah.
Right. Then HBO turned around and did the shit. Put a squid in their TV show. They was like, oh yeah. So the shit does work. So, and obviously James Gunn is doing the same shit, taking a big ass starfish, putting it in his show. What do we got here? Starro the Conqueror. Yeah, Starro the Conqueror is in there. Also, not only that, the funny thing about Starro is that he has these little pieces of him, and the Justice League caught one of them, called him Jarro. Batman adopted him and made him a Robin. That is a thing. So, yeah. I just want to add it, because that's like the weirdest shit that Scott Snyder did. I just want to throw it in there. It's just funny.
Scott Snyder. Oh yeah, Scott Snyder. Okay, there's too many Snyders.
the one that we like. The funny thing is about Scott Snyder, he was taking credit for the Snyder Cut because people kept tweeting him about it. He was like, "Yeah, okay." Oh man, but I think
John Cena as Peacemaker. That shit was funny. Like the banter. I mean, just that, and it be big, and it's rated R. So James Gunn gets to let loose because, Guardians of the Galaxy was Disney, it was PG-13 or whatever it was. He couldn't.
Which we all felt the first one should have been rated R. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he gets to he's let loose. So you see that, and if you've seen James Gunn used to work for Troma. So,
right.
Yeah. So he's used to, and of course we all know why he got fired. He's got a fucked up sense of humor. So it's cool to see him. He gets to just let loose, and that banter,
because he's not in the constraints of Disney.
Yeah, he's like, if this beach was covered in dicks, I would eat everyone. I would eat everyone for freedom,
for liberty,
for liberty. Or whatever. Like, why would somebody put dicks all over the beach? You're like, who knows why madmen do shit? Or whatever. I don't mean to quit. I don't mean to keep talking about dicks, but that was funny.
Oh man! But like I said, Suicide Squad looks like it's going to be on HBO Max this year. So you don't have to go to the theater. It's going to be HBO Max. And John Cena is supposed to be getting his own spinoff TV show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Directed by James Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we got Jan doing it. We got what's his face? Who's Yondu again? God, what's that guy's name again?
Oh shit. Michael
Rooker.
Michael Rooker, yeah.
Michael Rooker. We got the soundtrack. We got Michael Rooker's favorite songs, because that's all the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack is.
The dad rock, yeah.
Yeah, that those songs are basically songs that James Gunn got from Michael Rooker. They're basically mixtapes that Michael Rooker gave to him.
Yeah, 616 Man, that is a good point. We don't know if it's a prequel. They might be doing this shit on purpose just to throw us off. Because here's the thing about the last Suicide Squad, nobody died but Slipknot. But this time, James Gunn promised us most of these motherfuckers not gonna make it. So we don't know who's gonna get taken out, but that's the whole fun of it. So yeah, so we already know the Thinker and Polka Dot Man and Weasel, they're dead as fried chicken. We know they're not gonna make it.
Oh, and the Thinker's played by Capaldi.
Yes, Peter Capaldi.
Doctor
Who. One of the doctors, yeah. Apparently, Peter Comics' father was a Nazi war hero. Peacemaker got some stuff to him. I'm not too familiar with Peacemaker. I do know this, that the comedian from Watchmen is based off Peacemaker. I do know that much. So take that for what you will. Yeah, like I said, weird shit. Awesome show. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Let's stick with DC. Let's stick with the topic of DC. Oh, no, I'm not going to stick with DC.
Oh, shit.
This is on you.
Oh, damn.
I put him in the wrong spot, but since we're there, let's just go there. I didn't mean to put you in the spot.
Well, shit. No, let's talk about DC, and I'll get that article up.
Okay, let's go back to DC then.
I thought this was next from the list. Sorry.
Okay, my fault. I thought we did. I put it on by accident. But anyway, let's go to what we're talking about. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is DC films, not the DCEU, because the DCEU is just something made up by the internet. So DC Films, what they officially call themselves, is announcing 4 movies for 2022. So here's the thing, Eli. We're supposed to be boycotting DC because they won't give us a Snyder Cut. Restore the Snyderverse. Give us the Snyderverse. So we're supposed to be bombing everything they do. We're supposed to be bombing Godzilla vs. King Kong, which restore the Snyderverse. We're supposed to be giving them 1% ratings on Rotten Tomatoes because we want the Snyderverse. But then everybody turned around like, ooh, Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman 2, The Batman, give it to me. Snyder's got nothing to do with this shit. We're supposed to be boycotting. You got to make up your mind. You got to pick a struggle. So that's what's going on right now. So, yeah. Black Adam has been announced. They have a date. They just announced it. The Rock just tweeted the date like right before we started recording. I don't have it in front of me. I think in July, something like that. So The Rock has a movie. Everybody has been announced. Hawkman has been announced. Of course, The Rock has been announced. Adam Smasher has been announced. He's been in one of those rom-com movies. Cyclone, I don't know who or what Cyclone is or who her actor is. Who do we go here? Folks, Snyderverse, let me see that new shit. I'm with you, 616, man. I'm with you. Look, here's the thing about Snyderverse. Did I like Justice League? I like Justice League for what it was. But at the same time, it feels like I'm watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. Not the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we need more people in here to not just be locked down to his vision.
Yeah, you even said you kind of look at like the Snyderverse as sort of like this otherworld series.
It's Elseworlds to me. That's how I have to look at it.
Elseworld, Elseworld. Sorry.
Oh, whatever you call it. Yeah, so that's how I have to enjoy Snyder. Just understand that it's something else than what I know what it is. But we just can't have his voice be all of these people. We need different voices on there. Because like I said, if we left it up to him, we wouldn't get Starro. Even in Suicide Squad, he was like, no, that's too stupid. I need my shit dark and mean something. Fuck that, man. It's DC. DC
and mean something.
That's what that's a quote. That's a quote.
Yeah, man.
Like Marvel. Yeah, Marvel got a fucking talking raccoon in their movies, man. The Green Lantern has a fucking chipmunk in the core, and they don't do anything with it. Like, fuck it. And he's older than Rocket. But fuck it.
Detective Chip,
yeah,
Batman. That's right. Yeah, he turned Detective Chimp into King Kong.
Right.
Smashing buildings and shit.
Detective Chimp was in the real world.
Yeah, busting a building on.
Detective Chimp is a god, Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Rock signed up for Black Adam 2 character since 2000s, back in Shazam with space. Yeah. The thing is, 616 man, they actually gave The Rock the choice of who he wanted to be, either Shazam or Black Adam. He chose Black Adam, and he was executive producer on the Shazam movie also. So he didn't sign on to Shazam, Black Adam until Shazam made money because he can't trust DC. Nobody can trust DC. What the fuck they're doing? Yeah, what are we talking about? Oh. Black Adam. The reason we're talking about Black Adam because the last person that was cast early this week was Pierce Brosnan. As Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate. The man with the golden helm. Golden eye, the golden helm.
You want to roll.
Yeah, I'm just puns.
Waka.
Thanks. I'm here all week. Try to be. Yeah. Anyway, but I do want people to know that everybody's getting excited. Oh, they got James Bond in DC universe. I just want you to know Pierce Brosnan does not look like this anymore. I know he wants him to look all suave and sophisticated. We thinking Dr. Face to come in here, and just steal the Rock's woman and shit like that. He didn't look like that anymore. He looks like this. It's like Colonel Sanders. So you have to temper your expectations.
I don't know. I think that's kind of in though. The silver fox these days, the dad bods and shit. I don't know, man. I guess that's in now.
I guess so. It's Pierce Brosnan. He probably still will come in and just steal every woman to come in.
Well, I think yes. I think if they look at the Pierce Brosnan versus The Rock, I think people are going to want to fuck The Rock
Yeah, because you're gonna be walking around shirtless and shit. Yeah, Bond fake sound cool. So
Yeah,
just want to let know people
on the fuckable meter, the Rock still wins.
I mean, but he's still James Bond, even though he's like old as fuck. He's still James Bond. I mean, hell, Sean Connery like sexiest man in the world, like in the '90s and shit.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan will take his time. It'll be essential. He won't pile drive you like the fucking Rock.
Yeah, he's smooth. Like Pierce Brosnan, never the person just walk in the room and just take his shirt off and shit like that, like give me a woman. Yeah. No, he was suave and shit like that, like Remington Steele and shit. But
yeah, he's gonna wine and dine. He's gonna wine and dine you and shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I see Dr. Fate do this shit, like, why is Dr. Fate acting like James Bond? He doesn't do that in the comics, but fuck it, whatever, just roll with it, Oh, what have we got? I think the rest of this is just you. No, we're gonna move to the next part.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I think you know what? I think you got more books than me. I got more books than you. I'm gonna let you go first this time, Eli. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. What am I doing? Are we on the comics now?
Yeah, we're on the comics now. We fucked around long enough, but let's go to it. Okay, like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're just gonna jump into it. And Eli, I'm gonna let you go first because I'm actually getting set up over here. So yeah, let me know.
I'll do Alien #1. Get this out of the way.
I was almost this close to reading it.
Oh,
but I didn't. Yes.
So, for those who don't know, Marvel now owns the Alien property, and they are now.
Queen is a Disney princess.
Yes, so is Ripley. And for many years, Dark Horse were doing the Aliens and Predator comics, and there were a lot of really good ones, some very classic stories. They're the ones who made Aliens versus Predator, that made them meet in comic book form. Yes, before they fought each other in the movies, they were doing it in the comics. So Dark Horse had 20 good years of doing awesome Aliens and Predator comics. Well, now they're owned by Marvel. And now this is the first Alien comic from Marvel. And
does Spider-Man show
up? Not yet. There might be some weird mutant in there. I don't know who the fuck that is, but I don't know. I'm like, don't turn the aliens into mutants. We don't need alien X-Men. Fuck that shit. Just stick to the formula, please. So basically we're introduced to a new character. What's his guy's name? Cruz. He's an ex-Marine, the Space Marine. He had experiences with the alien, the xenomorphs. He's basically retired now. He goes back to Earth, which we've never seen in the movies. We've never gone to Earth in the movies. But he's basically retired now. But then there is a radical anarchist group who is like trying to sabotage government shit. And it turns out his son works for them. And they are basically, his son ends up stealing like some data, like a disk or whatever, from his dad because it's got secret codes to access, the laboratories. So they're going to go bomb the place. And they end up going in and to destroy this government laboratory. And that's where they find a huge laboratory full of like face huggers. The face huggers, those crab things.
Zoom in on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that thing. So that's kind of where it kind of ends there. That's the only mention of aliens, huh? In this comic.
It's world building,
Yeah, they reference, Bishop, the Bishop android. They reference Weyland-Yutani and the Space Marines LV-426. They reference the alien universe. All that stuff is there. But this was just slow. This was like kind of slow for me. A little mediocre for my taste. So I was a little underwhelmed. And that's the thing, is I was already skeptical about this already, of how far Marvel would push because this is Alien. It's R-rated, gory violence. I was like a little concerned how they were going to treat this, because Dark Horse, they went ham. They showed it all: blood, gore, chest bursters, all that shit, acid, melt in your skin, all that shit. I was a little concerned how Marvel was going to take it, but there is a panel where they blow off somebody's head, and it's pretty graphic, as you can see.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, that gives me hope. If you're blowing up heads, that okay. You guys are going to push it. You guys are going to go harder than I thought. So that gives me hope. But otherwise, this story was a little slow for me. So I give it a 3 out of 5. I'll see. I'm gonna see how long it takes for them to get going. This does remind me of back in the 90s when Chris Claremont wrote The Deadliest of Species, and it was like this big hype. It was an Aliens versus Predator book written by Chris Claremont. I guess he had just got done writing the X-Men, and this is like his first job. So there's all this hype.
Well, the thing is, they had the Brood in the X-Men, which is basically aliens.
Yeah. And it had all this hype behind it, and it turned out to this really slow, boring soap opera. And I
X-Men, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it turned into he turned aliens into X-Men. And I didn't stay with it. I didn't end up reading the whole story till like many years, because I was collecting it, when it, off the rack. And then after like the 4th issue, I'm like, fuck this, I'm done.
Oh man, let's see. Disney Alien versus Marvel.
Yes. So now,
it's gonna happen. It's
now
happen.
They're all talking about the crossovers. We're gonna have Spider-Man versus aliens, and of X-Men versus Predator and all that shit, and so that can happen.
Versus Predator. You gonna buy it, Eli? Don't act like you're not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Hulk versus Predator.
Hulk is gonna kick their ass. I mean, I don't
right. Well, Predators then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So I guess I'm up now. I guess I dilly-dally long enough. Okay. So book I'm going to do is I'm gonna just come right out the gate. We're just gonna start with share screen. Yeah. We're gonna start with Black Panther number 24. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Cool. That's cool. I didn't know I could do that. Anyway, so if you notice on the book, every single black hero is on the cover. Now, for those who don't know what's going on, I'm just gonna get everybody caught up. What's going on?
Wasn't that in a panel like last issue?
No, that was like the very last.
Oh, this is Black Panther. This is Black Panther. I'm thinking of the Avengers.
Oh, no. This is not Avengers, it's Black Panther. So this is basically every single black hero ever is on the page. And basically what's going on, let's see if we can get everything caught up. Killmonger is returned from the grave, and he is now in charge of a space army from the future that was basically Wakanda that has conquered the galaxy. And they have come back from the past to conquer Wakanda, basically, and to kill everybody on there. So to combat, and he's also, Baz has realized they're so powerful, the goddess Baz has joined their side. So, Black Panther, T'Challa on the other side has basically recruited every single black hero on the planet to come to Wakanda. So, like, if Miles is chilling with Peter Parker and he gets a call from T'Challa, he's like, come to Wakanda. He basically like, Peter, hey, we going to Wakanda? Like, Miles like, nah. Me, I'm going. Your melanin not strong enough. So they're all going there to basically help combat the Killmonger alien invasion that's coming. Oh, and he also has a symbiote venom suit also to add things to it. So that's going on. So let's go ahead and get started with it. T'Challa, like I said, we got this X-Men. Like I said, when we mean everybody, all black heroes are on deck. Storm has gotten every single black X-Men and brought them to the Wakanda, even the ones we never heard of. Or maybe they've been in like some random X-Men issue from back in 2003, like that. So we got this guy named Prodigy. His mutant power is connect everybody's mind to each other, shit like that. So T'Challa hooked him up to some kind of machine to kind of get everybody on the same page to, help fight. So he's basically like running ops, where everybody else is fighting and shit like that. And the rest of the book is actually not even talking. It's just action. The whole book is just action. Like you said, you got Misty Knights, you got Luke Cage, you got Falcon, you got Monica Rambeau, and they all doing their thing. And it's kind of a little story here. Like you said, everybody's got their names River Palm engaged. You know, Monica Rambeau and Storm actually teaming up. You know, taking out the sky people. So you got people on the sky, people on the ground. Cloak without Dagger, she's doing shit. Luke Cage is just big bruiser. We have a Luke Cage. War Machine doing his thing. You know, just beating the fuck out of people. And then there's this other dude, Riri and War Machine doing their thing, and the Midnight Angels, you know, from the first issue, save them and stuff. And then there's this other X-Man named Gentle. He has the power to just grow big and shit like that, just start beating the shit out of people. But it's too many of them. And then he's getting overwhelmed, and all of a sudden, boom, they get sniped. And Gentle's like, who the hell did that shit? And this is the most awesome panel of the book. This is the money shot right here. Nick Fury from the rafters sniping a whole bunch of people with two Patriots beside him. One, Eli Bradley, and the other one, Rayshawn Lucas.
That's Isaiah's son.
Isaiah, his grandson. Yeah, his grandson. So they're here. And
I know who he is.
Of course, yeah, you should. His name is Eli.
There ain't not too many people named Eli.
Right. See, he's the good one. He's not Eli Manning, so you can be proud of him. You know,
or Eli the demon, the Ghost Rider demon.
Right. So they go out and Rayshawn, because he's like a tech genius, so he's like shooting the shit out these Venom ones. Eli is just like fuck it. He just ramrodding his way in there, just beating the shit out of him. Gentle's just going to work on him. But that's when the ship realizes that we need to just focus on Prodigy, the main guy, is hooked into everybody. So once they get to him, you got Dr. Voodoo and you got Monica Rambeau and Storm, just like, what they do like a combined attack. So Monica Rambeau turns into lightning and goes inside Storm. I'm pretty sure T'Challa had a dream about this once, they combine it to each other. So she amps up Storm's powers to like 1,000, and they just like destroy a spaceship, take it out. Dr. Voodoo makes sure the ship doesn't hurt anybody. Miles is flying around doing shit or whatever, But anyway,
what about Rocket Racer? Where he at?
He didn't get the email. I'm sorry. He's not on the call list, man. It's like, if you're a black hero and you're not in Wakanda right now, you need to fire your manager or some shit, So he's telling T'Challa, look, the base is done. I can't coordinate everybody. The force is too much. And T'Challa's just like, fuck it, we need to rally the troops. But then while they're talking, coming out of the smoke, and he's like, yeah, I took down your people. Out of the smoke, it's Killmonger. And he's got the Venom symbiote wrapped around it with a whole bunch of Venom dudes behind him. He's like, I'm controlling the 5 galaxies, and Wakanda will be mine. And Black Panther's just like, you've turned Wakanda into a slave nation. You are a slave driver. Killmonger, all the times you've died, you ain't learned a damn thing. Wakanda is not built on that. Wakanda is forever. And then you see the Queen Mother walking out of, Manifold's teleporting thing. And since the Orishis and Bass have abandoned them, they actually brought back the Originators. Now, the Originators are the old gods that were there before Wakanda, and they freed them. So now the old gods of Wakanda are here to join the fight also to go against Killmonger. And yeah, that's what the last issue gonna like. So next issue, last issue of Coates is done after that.
Oh, I was about to say, did Coach write this?
Coach wrote this. Yes, Coach. This is completely Coach. Now the
Good
reason
job.
is, but here's the thing. I'm explaining, but most of it is no dialogue. Most of it is just action scenes. So it's easy to follow, So yeah, so Coach wrote it, but he really didn't do much with it. So yeah, I'm gonna give Coach some credit on it. I mean, you can't. I'm like, I knew this issue was gonna be every black superhero era, so I was nervous about Coach. Please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up. But he did a good job on it. So. We got one more issue to go, Eli. Let's see if he can bring this home. Because that panel with Nick Fury sniping people from the roof, I like, Nick Fury made it to Wakanda. Okay. This issue 5 out of 5. I'm going to issue, like I said, every black hero ever doing shit. Monica Rambeau and Storm. It's my fantasy too. So yeah, I'm with T'Challa. So what you got next?
I guess I'll do Bitterroot.
Bitterroot, cool. Okay, all right, let's go there. Got you set up. I think.
Okay, yeah. So Bitterroot is back. This is the start of the new storyline, Bitterroot number 11. written by David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, Sanford Green, and all black team working on this horror book about a black family in the 1920s Harlem that fights demons. So this has been one of my favorite books for a long time. I keep praising how great this book is. So the concept, demons infect people through hatred and bigotry. So basically demons as a metaphor for racism. They infect people, turn them into demons. There's this family called the Sangriers. They've been fighting them for, many years, using, steampunk style weapons. And then they also cure them. They have like this, I can't remember what the root is called, but like there's this plant that cures them. They're trying to cure the hatred and bigotry out of these people and turn them back into human. And that's kind of like the duality. You have some of the family members that want to heal them, and then some family members that just want to kill them. Like you can't stop. You can't cure hatred like that, So there's that, the Malcolm and Martin, argument kind of there, what do you do? How do you tackle racism? That's kind of like the main theme of this book. This book really tackles racism, race relations, what to do about how to deal with racial trauma, the historic systemic racism. What do we do? It asks those questions, doesn't give you an answer really, but it still ponders them and just makes you talk. But in this new issue, we're kind of it's kind of a recap. We're just it's resetting all the characters, where all they've been doing. We have Dr. Sylvester. He lost his family in the Tulsa bombings. And he gave into a demon called Inzandu, which feeds off of sorrow and trauma. And he was using that demon to wipe out the other demons. So but didn't realize that demon was trying to take over Earth. So it was using him as a vessel to take over Earth. Well, last issue, he took the demon and dragged it back to hell. There is this purgatory. I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a B. But anyways, it's like this realm of purgatory where some humans are stuck there, but they're there defending Earth against invading. They're protecting Earth from hell, basically. And they fight demons in this purgatory to keep them from invading, Earth. So that's where he is. We have Berg, who was infected by an Inzandu. They're trying to cure him, but he's they think he's better, but he still might not be. We have Ma Etta, who's like the matriarch of the family. She was actually fighting these demons since, before the slaves were freed. So she's like the old lady. She's like an herbologist. She's teaching the healing ways. So she's trying to figure out how to, is this still working? Because there was this big, huge race riot in Harlem where the cops got infected by demons. And it was basically, them fighting these demon cops, So they're trying to figure out what do we do? Maybe there's no way to cure it, but we got to figure out a way because, there's these other demons coming. Now we're gone to Blink. Blink she's like one of the youngest children. She was like a teenager. Her parents were killed. Her mom was sucked into the portal to the purgatory, and they thought she was dead. But in the last story arc, she came through. She's still alive. She came through along with Cullen. Cullen was the youngest son of the family. He got sucked through the portal. He came through too. He's still alive. It turns out time passes differently in that purgatory. He aged like 10 years. He's now a badass demon fighter. Because at first he was kind of timid. He was kind of like, didn't like to fight, and they're always wondering about him. That is he going to be a fighter? Like, he's supposed to be a demon slayer. But he got sucked through the portal, spent 10 years there, fighting demons. Now he comes back through. He's a badass. He's 10 years older, but it's only been 6 months on Earth. You know what I mean? So time, is different in that realm. He's back. Blink's mom's back. They're trying to mend their relationship. Now, Blink, she's the youngest daughter. She was supposed to be trained to be, in the healing roots, the healing ways. But she wants to be a fighter, but they're like, no, women don't do that. Men are only the warriors, so you have to learn how to, practice the healing ways. But she likes to go out and fight. She's got friends. Like there's this like Chinese girl. Basically, she's like the badass chick who likes going out and fighting, but she's not supposed to because she's a girl, know. And she teams up with like a Chinese girl and an Irish girl. They're all from their friends. So basically, all the immigrant families or all these oppressed people who've ever been oppressed, they've been fighting these hate demons for centuries as well. So she teams up with these other girls and they're like forbiddenly not supposed to be fighting, but they are. So that's going on. But basically this issue, Blink and her mom, who came back from purgatory, they're sort of, getting to know each other again. She thought she was dead. They're not. They're sort of mending their relationship. Then we have Enoch. Sorry, I should have took notes on this because there's a lot of, that's the only thing about this book is it's very convoluted, a lot of subplots. Enoch, he's like another old demon fighter. He did something, we're still not sure what, but he did something that pissed off the family, and he's like trying to, they think he's dealing in some sort of dark magic. So he's kind of pissed off the family, but also one of the leaders that they thought were dead. He came, is it Charles? Yeah, Charles. They thought Charles was dead. He came back from purgatory. He's missing his legs. He's got like robot steampunk legs and he's a badass and he's back. And they're sort of, again, trying to determine what they should do about like these Inzandu demons. They're different from the Jinyu. The Jinyu demons feed off of hatred and bigotry. Inzandu feed off of trauma and sorrow. So they're different. They don't know how to cure that, Then we go to, what's his face? So Cullen and Ford. Now Ford is like Blade. He's just this badass demon slayer. He goes around killing demons. So, he's like, there's no cure. We're just going to kill him, amputate the soul. There's no coming back. So he just goes around, kills demons. He he teamed up with an ex-KKK member. Last, like in the older story arc. That guy got killed. The white guy got killed by the Inzandu last arc. And now here we are. Ford is now telling this, white guy's family, hey, he died saving my life. I owe it to him, blah, 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 blah. So he's got this change of heart over, this whole race relations. And that's the thing is that guy, what was his name? Johnny Rebel or whatever. I don't know. It was like Johnny Ray, Jim Bob or whatever. he was like a part of the KKK. And they were about to lynch a black dude, but then Ford came in, killed all the KKK members got possessed and turned into demons, except that one guy, Johnny Ray or whatever. He didn't, which meant that he was pure of soul. His soul is pure. And he even admitted, I did not know that this is what we were doing. I did not know that the KKK did this shit. I was just raised this way, blah, 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 blah. So again, this book tackles like issues of ignorance, how some like white folks just don't understand, the systemic racism that's been, this country has been built on, you know what I mean? And that's what that character sort of represented. And he ended up teaming up with Ford and they fought demons together. Last story arc, he got killed. Here we are. Ford is telling his family, I owe it to this guy. He was my friend, blah, 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 blah. So that was like a growing moment for Ford because Ford's so full of hatred and rage and he just wants to kill all these demons and shit. Cullen, who was teamed up with Ford, he's like waiting outside. Why is Ford taking so long apologizing to this cracker? This cracker, this dead cracker. He's all pissed off. But then he starts hearing noises in the woods, and it turns out that the demons are now, let me see that, they're now possessing the trees or possessing the forest now. So it's not only humans that can possess.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, he's like, what the hell is going on? And that's where it's like to be continued. So yeah, I still love this story. It's basically Evil Dead, with mixed with a lot of social political commentary, tackling deep issues of racism, systemic historic trauma. It's great. I love this book. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. I'm glad it's back. It is one of my favorite books right now. And Coogler is supposed to be making a TV series out of this. So I highly recommend it. If you're into horror, or just comics in general. It's dope.
Okay. Definitely check it out. All right, so what do we got next? Okay, so the book I'm gonna do next is Taskmaster number 5. Did you ever read Taskmaster? It's just on me.
You've just been reading. I've been just hearing about it from you. So
okay, I don't know why I thought you was in this. I don't know.
I think it's funny what you tell it. I think it's funny.
Okay. It was Shang-Chi we were both on. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay. Shang-Chi we both read, yeah.
Yeah, they ran like, why the fuck y'all keep talking about Shang-Chi? Like, we just want to talk about Shang-Chi. That's all. Anyway, let's get to it. What are we talking about? So like I said, this is the last issue. This is 5 out of 5. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. That's it. Okay. So what we have going on right here with Taskmaster is Taskmaster's finally completed his mission with Nick Fury. Nick Fury's in this book also. And they got this thing called the Rubicon Trigger. I think is what they call the Rubicon Trigger. Yeah. So that's the thing, that doomsday device that they're trying to get, and basically he had to learn how to move, like, I'm trying to think of people. Amy Han, Phil Coulson, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Okoye, from Wakanda. And basically trying to get there, and basically we need to get back to this thing and do this. And Taskmaster trying to figure out something ain't adding up. Who wants us to get this thing? He was like, why does it matter who get this thing? We need to get it. And he was like, we need to find out who killed Maria Hill, because that's the whole thing about it, because Black Widow thinks that Taskmaster killed Maria Hill. And he's like, somebody set me up, and I didn't know who set me up. He was like, it don't matter who set me up. And that's what Nick Fury is saying, because Maria Hill made me. She's like, made you? She didn't make you. I made you. I knew you back when you was a bullshit ass Marine. Before you was Nick Fury Jr., you were calling yourself Marcus. Your name was Marcus Johnson, and I was the first supervillain you ever met. So Maria Hill didn't make you. I made you. And while they sitting there arguing shit like that, Black Widow's just standing right in front of them, and boom, I guess she had like a bomb under the car, something like that, blow it up. And the only reason the car didn't like completely just blow up, because it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. car. Black Widow's walking over him. She's like, yeah, you about to pay for what you did to Maria Hill. And that's when Taskmaster like, oh yeah, it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. car. So he hits the eject button and ejects himself out of the car. So then he just like, Black Widow's coming for me. So he just takes off running. He's like, fuck this, I'm not finna fight Black Widow. Because, she's Red Room, trained assassin, all the stuff like that. So what he does when she finally does catch up with them, he uses all the stuff that he learned, from other people, like, who did he learn? Daredevil, but that doesn't work because, that's her ex,
Daredevil fucked everybody, damn.
No, they was like a thing. Like she was like they share half the book. Like Batman and Robin, it was like Daredevil and Black Widow, like for like years, So they were a thing. Iron Fist, Backdrop the Leaper, none of that shit works because Black Widow has fought against all these people. Shang-Chi, none of that stuff like that works. So then it takes him out. But right before she gets ready to take him out, that's when it stops. They grab him. The reason she stops is because it turns out Maria Hill is still alive. She faked her death. Because that's what S.H.I.E.L.D. agents always do. They just fake their death. So she's like, nah, I was dead. I was alive the whole time. I faked my death just so Taskmaster, and I framed Taskmaster on purpose because he was the only person that can get all those signatures for me, to unlock the Rubicon Trigger because nobody else could do it. And since S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist anymore because, it collapsed after Secret Empire when, Cap was a Nazi and shit, they've been on the run, and she knows that if she goes and asks them personally, like Okoye and Phil Coulson, they person tell her to fuck off. So she knew if she framed Taskmaster to do this shit, he would unlock the Rubicon trigger for them because it was a thing left by Norman Osborn back when he was in charge of Hammer. But they have to disarm it because now that he's back to being evil like the Green Goblin, shit like that, we need to stop him from getting it. Otherwise, he'll crack the Earth in half, with this crazy ass WMD doomsday device he got. And Taskmaster's like, okay, so y'all played me the whole fucking time. You framed me for Black Widow coming for me. Nick Fury wasn't, in on this shit. And y'all playing for Patsy? That shit ain't gonna work. So Taskmaster does his thing. He activates the Rubicon trigger so he can turn it off. Well, Maria Hill tells him to turn it off, but instead he turns it on. Rubicon trigger activate. So this big ass satellite in the sky is about to destroy the Earth in the next 60 seconds. And he's just like, they'll figure it out. They always figure it out. So while they figure out how to turn off the Rubicon trigger, Taskmaster slips out, leave, and that's it. So that's the end of the book. So
that's the end of the book?
That's the end of the book. That's it. Because he didn't like being fucked over by Maria Hill. So I like, good ending. He wasn't the hero and stuff like that. He was still an asshole villain at the end of the story. So I thought it was pretty cool. So overall, 4 out of 5. Good, strong story. Awesome run. If this ever goes in a trade and you see it in a trade, anybody, I recommend it. Recommend it by me.
It sounded funny. Every time you reviewed it, it sounded fun.
Yeah. It makes me want to find more stuff that this writer did. I'm starting to be a fan of this writer. So I forgot who it is, but I'll look it up afterwards. So yeah. But what else you got?
All right. Last one I'll do is Post Americana.
Okay.
Number 4. Is that where you're on? Yeah, number 4. Story and art by Dame Scroce. I think that's his name. How you say his name? Colors by Dave Stewart. And this art is crazy. I love this art. This has been another this is my book of the week. I love this book. Futuristic, post-apocalyptic tale with a lot of political allegory. The rich elite have been living in this mountain fortress for the last 80 years while a nuclear holocaust destroyed the earth, and all the humans have been living in this fucked up toxic wasteland for the past century. And then this asshole right-wing prick decides to become president in the mountain and decides I'm going to take over the earth and make a new America. And so basically there's this band of freedom fighters that have escaped the mountain, and they're trying to band together all the rebels in the wasteland for this war. And that's basically what it's about. In this issue, one of the freedom fighters, her name was Caroline. She's this badass warrior trick of the wasteland. She finds out her mother is still alive and it gets reunited. We get some character development on the president guy. I guess he used to run around in the wasteland for a while and decided that, the wasteland is a bunch of savages who need to be exterminated and we need to rebuild America. And then back to, the freedom fighters, they get captured by their, the mountain right-wing Gestapo captures them, but then they get rescued by this dude, the Night Terror. He just comes, this dude.
Oh, okay.
And Donnie, the werewolf dog or whatever. I don't know. His name is Donnie.
Like Frank Miller's Batman, from Dark
Knight. Kinda,
yeah.
He comes and he kills all the soldiers. I gotta share the screen. This is dope.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Share screen. I mean, I love the art. The art is just crazy, gory, super detailed. So
okay, add to stream. Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So there's a panel of Donnie the dog or the werewolf guy slicing a soldier's head into sections.
Wow. Okay.
So that's just an example of how crazy and violent and gory this book is. So they rescue the freedom fighters and say, yeah, let's go band up and take out these, Nazi bastards or whatever that are invading. And that's kind of where the book ends, to be continued. Great book. I love the art. It's crazy. It's funny. It's poking fun at everything, layered with all the social and political satire and comic books. It turns out that this Night Terror and Donnie, this dog guy, they're like comic book characters in this universe, because it shows like a scene where the president is like, yeah, this is the guy that took out our soldiers. He's like a copycat. He's dressing up as this superhero from this comic book. So I got our guys analyzing all the data to find out this guy's MO, and we're going to take him out. And that's kind of where the book ends and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I just dig this. This is right up my alley. Gory, violent, pushing buttons, layered with all this political and social commentary. I'm digging it. 5 out of 5.
Nice. Okay. All right. So yeah, last book I'm going to do is, I had to struggle to see what the last book I was going to do because, like I said, it's been a slow week. But Eli, I found one.
Oh yeah.
I actually enjoy it. Yeah. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 24.
Okay. Is this the King in Black tie-in?
No, that's the funny thing about it. This is not the King in Black tie-in. The King in Black is done in this book.
Oh, okay.
And remember the Clone Saga that we didn't talk about? This is the issue before the Miles Morales Clone Saga that's coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what this is all about. So basically, this is actually just a filler issue. Just a bullshit issue just going around about Miles just doing shit. And you know what? I loved it. So basically what's going on with the book right now is that Miles just bought a new journal because he just want to talk about, what happened to him. But the King of Black is over with. He don't have to worry about, the Teenage Superhero Registration Act is done. They're not worried about him anymore. He's not fighting any supervillains called the Ultimatum or like that. He's just living his life. He's, woke up in the morning. He's got a hot date he's about to go on, stuff like that. He's not able to worry about anything. He's just going to just hang out in his life. So he's in Chinatown, and this date waves at him, and it turns out it's Kamala Khan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
So the reason he brought her out here because he's apologizing to her, because during the King of Black he had to beat her ass because she became nullified or venomized with like that. So that was the only way for her to get him out of that. So he brought her down here, and they just wanted to just hang out in on a day in town. No weird supervillain shit. They just walk around town, and what they're doing, they're looking at all the destruction that the King of Black, the whole Null thing caused. They're like, man, it got fucked up builds over here, but the basketball court is still effective, and there's a basketball right there. So Camilla's just like, what do you say? Oh, you don't want to play me because I'm a girl? You're like, nah, I didn't say that. I know girls that can ball. I'm just saying you can't ball. They're like, oh, nah, let's do it. So half of the book is them playing basketball. But they changed clothes into their superhero clothes. And she's like, why we got to wear our superhero shit to play basketball? She's like, because I don't want anybody to notice when I do this to you. And she just stretches and dunks on him. Like, hold up, man. I thought we were playing like, no rules basket, no superpowers and shit. She's like, nah, I didn't say it. You're like, okay, cool. So he goes invisible, and then dunks on her. Okay, now we tied up. So then they're going back for stuff like that. But before they can go they hear a building crash, so they know, oh, we got to go into superhero mode. Even though we were chilling, we were relaxing, it's time to get back into superhero mode. So they go over there, they rescue some people that in a crashed building. But when they get there, they find out the reason the building crashed was because the landlord didn't fix the stairwell, the floor under the stairwell when they told him to, so it just collapsed underneath it. So it's his fault because he didn't fix it. The whole building crashed. So he's looking at all the people that got hurt, stuff like that, and they're like, okay, give us the name of your landlord. We better go have a conversation with him. So they give him the name. They do a quick Google search. They find out where he lives, and it turns out he's about to go somewhere in a $200,000 car, And then that's when Miles get in his face, and he's just like, look, I know what you did. That apartment complex that you didn't fix. He's like, which one? I got a tons of them. He was like, look, you're going to fix the apartment complex, and while you're getting the apartment complex fixed, everybody that stay there, you're going to put them in another house. Otherwise, you're going to see me again. He was like, look, I'll do what you want. He was like, I know you guys are outlaws, but I want to get fucked up, and like, fine, I'll put him in a nicer apartment complex than the one they had before. Just leave me the hell alone. And Miles like, okay, cool, because if you don't, and then he fries the motor in his $200,000 car, and then they leave and stuff like that. But anyway, Miles and Kamala Khan was just like, okay, we done with that. We done with superhero shit. Let's go do what you came down here to do anyway. So they decided to go, and they decided to have ice cream. But here's my problem, Eli. My personal problem. Look what Miles has. He has mint chocolate chip ice cream. I was like, no, you are not gonna have my. This some shit Peter Parker would do. Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man, would not have mint chocolate chip ice cream. So anyway, so he's eating his chocolate chip ice cream. Camilla Khan, and they just having a conversation, just eating and stuff like that, man. This is the first time I've been here since I took my ex here. And Camilla Khan, like, all of a sudden gets quiet when he says that. And they just look like, oh. So there's something here, Eli. They don't say, but there's something here, because when he starts talking about his ex, they get quiet. But
I thought wasn't she going out with Nova or something?
Well, that's what, and I think that's what it, because she said something like, "Oh, I went out with one of my best friends one time and it ended horribly." And then he asked, "Well, are y'all cool now?" He's like, we are." So I don't know the whole history behind it. I thought she was talking about him, but I guess you talking about Nova. So I guess she was talking about Nova. So they just walk in and that's it. So he gets home, he got her like a new baby sister. That's on. He trying to make sure he don't wake her, and his parents are just staring at him. He like, "I didn't do it," and she was like, they were like, "We're so glad you safe." He like, "I didn't. What the hell y'all talking about?" You're like, "You need to see the phone." So they hand him the phone, and it turns out he's supposed to have kidnapped the scientist, but it wasn't him. And you see,
okay,
yeah. So you see at the bottom, to be continued, the beginning of the Clone Saga.
Okay.
So that's how it starts. So this was just a bullshit filler issue, just in between stuff going on, because the Clone Saga would be like the big shit,
All right.
Miles Morales, Mint Wars, right? So that's my only problem I have with this issue. Miles Morales eating mint chocolate chip cookie. Other than that, 4.5 out of 5, Eli. I thought this was an awesome issue, because, like I said, I got in, I got out. I didn't have to know any stuff I had to get in. It sets up the new stuff coming in. That's what a comic supposed to be. When you first pick it up for the first time, you're supposed to just get in and get out. I don't have to worry about all that history and bullshit like that. So, yeah, it did its job. So, I'm booked out. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm done. I read some of the Batman stuff, but nothing really happened. So
it was really a slow week, to be honest with you. Normally, I wouldn't try Miles Morales, but I was like, a slow week. Why not? Join us next week, because next week actually will be Godzilla vs. King Kong. We thought it was this week, but it's actually gonna be next week. It'll be on HBO Max, so we have no choice. We have no choice not to watch it.
Yeah, I thought it was coming on this. I got a bunch of movie munchies and was ready to go. And it was like, oh man, what the fuck?
Yeah, so we'll get a chance to watch it. We'll give our review and stuff like that. Don't we have something Tuesday, Eli?
Oh yeah, the best of something.
Yeah, we got another top 5 coming.
Yeah.
The top 5 is going to be our favorite TV shows of all time. I have not made my list. So
I'm like, well, this is anything. This is going to be like hard. Like, it's like anything. Like, I don't know. That's hard.
Yeah, like from all time. So yeah. So honestly, my list is shortened. I just need to see what won't be here, what won't be there. It won't take me long to figure it out. I'll think about it all through the day. And by the time Tuesday come, I'll have it ready. So, anything else you gotta add? Or?
I'm good, man.
Cool. All right. So join us next week, or join us Tuesday. We'll post a link in here also. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.